Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Eve K. Launch, and today I want to talk about the Atari VCS, and I want to talk about why it's the ways Atari could easily bring more games to the platform, and how this could benefit the Atari VCS's growth in the long run. Now, so you don't know, the Atari VCS is obviously a PC console hybrid system. It's only available in the US currently, but I want to address a big problem that the Atari VCS has had since launch, and that is the lack of games. Obviously, it's got games. But there's less than 100 games on the store from what I've heard, and I want to talk about how they can fix that. Now, the first major one is quite simple. Release more of their back catalog on the store individually instead of being in collections. Obviously, have games from like the Atari Jaguar, Atari Lynx, 2600, 7800, Atari ST, Atari 400, Atari 800 systems, all available separately for you to purchase for like a few quid, or you could obviously get the 50th anniversary collection, get a load of them for a discount. Also another one I think they should do is also bring Roller Coaster Tycoon to the system. They kind of need to because that's like their big franchise at the minute. You know, but besides them, there's another thing I feel like Atari could do, and this could be a huge benefactor when it comes to Atari. Obviously, becoming successful once again in console space, and even becoming a bigger publisher and becoming profitable again. And that's doing a game jam. For those who don't know what a game jam is, a game jam is basically when a bunch of developers come together and are tasked with a challenge to make a game within like a short amount of time, and the best games obviously fully developed and published. Now Atari obviously could do that. Atari could go to homebrew enthusiasts for the Atari VCS or even indie publishers or indie developers and make deals to obviously publish their games on the VCS as their own thing, as well as expand those games to other platforms. Atari doesn't just release games on the VCS; they put them on Steam, on Xbox, on PlayStation, on Switch. But this could be sort of getting their foot in the door for a lot of developers. Plus, it could help Atari in the long run, because then it looks like, hey, we're for developers. We'll let developers compete in these little game jams. Now, Atari would need to do quite a few of them in order to get quite a few games for the VCS. But what Atari should do, in my opinion, is obviously host about 2 or 3 a year, and let the best 5 games become actual official Atari VCS games, and also publish those games on other platforms. But make them like be exclusive to the VCS for like a week or a month or so first to make people interested. Now, what could they do? They could do it either based on emulation for their old systems. Anything from the Atari 2600, 7800, 5200, 400, 800, Atari ST, Atari Jaguar, Atari Lynx, anything for those systems. Or they could also open up the options for this, because remember the what's that? The Atari VCS is based on Linux. It's a Linux computer, so it could just be doing it off for Linux. It really depends. It really depends on what Atari thinks is the smart decision to do. But would this be interesting to see? Yeah, I think it would. We could potentially see hundreds of new games come to the Atari VCS doing this, as well as other platforms, and it'd also help make Atari a much more notable publisher and developer once again than they currently are, because currently they seem to be really small. It seems to be basically an indie publisher that people don't seem to even remember. So, what would they do this? I don't know if they do this. Personally, I think it would be it would be a huge oversight to not do it. Atari has tons of history of games and whatnot, but they need some new stuff. They need some new ideas, new series, new IP from newer developers and whatnot to help make Atari, well, to make Atari great again, really, to make Atari popular on other platforms, and actually really sell the VCS console. Now, what would Atari do? I don't know. Atari could obviously host a couple of them a year. They could do whatever they really wanted to get developers on board, you know. And it'd be nice if they allowed you to compete no matter where you were in the world, and basically just allowed you to get your game published. I don't know, maybe make some money off of like a little cash prize. Say you win the contest, you get like, I don't know, $5,000 or something, and then obviously your games are then published by Atari on all platforms. That'd be how I would do it, and at least. And obviously, as an Atari stakeholder, that's my opinion. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think Atari should do a game jam to get more games on the Atari VCS? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on notifications, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.